In this week's parasha, we find an extremely important concept. The Meraglim got punished despite the fact that they said 100% truth. The reason why they got punished is because they did not have the proper paradigm. What they said was, we look like grasshoppers, and therefore they assumed that the giants saw them as grasshoppers. Their paradigm was bad, and therefore they saw bad. They should have had a better paradigm. And a great way to understand it is, there's a story that Dr. Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the greatest minds in the area of professional development, says a story that it was a Sunday morning, and he took the New York City subway. And you can imagine he explains on Sunday morning that it was like maybe 30% full. Everybody was relaxed and quiet and reading and dozing off. Very peaceful experience, when all of a sudden at one stop, a father comes on with 4 children. And they're very noisy, but one would assume that within a few minutes, they're going to regain composure, sit down, and catch on that the rest of the train, everybody's peaceful, everybody's quiet, everybody's calm. And their rowdy behavior is just inappropriate in that situation. But that's not what happened. They continued being bothersome and being loud and making noise. And Dr. Covey was very bothered about what's going on. But what bothered him the most is he noticed that the father took no note. The father pretty much ignored what was going on with his kids, and that's something he couldn't tolerate. So being the respectable person he is, he held himself together, clenched his teeth, and walked over to the father and said, "Do you realize that your kids are making noise on the train and you're not doing anything about it?" With extreme anger, which really was echoed by everybody else that felt the same way in the train car at that time. The father looks up at Dr. Covey and says, "You see, we just came from their mother's funeral. You see, I'm not sure how to deal with them. Should I be tough on them? Should I not? I also don't know how to deal with my own emotions. I'm so sorry." And within 2 seconds, everybody on the train started hugging the kids and being kind to the kids and loving the kids and feeling bad for the kids. So the question is, did anything change in this circumstance? Was it 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning? Yes. Was the train 30% full? Yes. Was everybody calm and relaxed before the family came on? Yes. Were these kids bothersome and getting in everybody's way? Yes. Was the father ignoring what happened with his kids? Yes. Nevertheless, the whole train went from extreme anger to feeling bad and love and very positive feelings to this family. Everything changed when the paradigm changed. That's the message that I'd like to give you this week. You change your paradigm and you change your life. So let me give you 2 examples of paradigm shifts. For example, if you took on to the paradigm that nobody that does anything against you or to hurt you meant it personally. Don't take anything personally, because people act that way because people are not 3-dimensional. People are 3 trillion dimensional. I mean, there's so many reasons and stuff going on in people as to why they do something. Well, if you decide not to take anything personal, because whatever people do is because of something in their world, it has nothing to do with you, try that and see the difference it'll make for you. Another example of a paradigm shift is everything that happened in the past, for you to believe I did my best, because you have no way to know you didn't do your best. If you were able to do better, you would have done better under the circumstances. So just believing that everything that you did in the past was perfect was the best that you could do. You couldn't do better in the past. And focus on the present and the future to create the life that you want to create. Those are 2 examples, but you could use any example of a paradigm shift that you've heard before from somebody else, something you've learned about, something you've read about, something somebody shared with you, and just for the next week, try to hone in and recognize what your current paradigm is and how life would be different if you shifted your paradigm. That's my message for this week. Have a fabulous weekend. I look forward to seeing you next week.